Most people think the danger at a festival or concert is the obvious stuff. Strangers, darkness, crime. Those things are real. But the deadliest incidents at large public events in the last decade were not caused by crime. They were caused by crowds. Specifically, by crowd crush, a phenomenon that kills people in fully lit, legally operating events with security present, and that almost nobody in the crowd understands is happening until it is too late to act. The 2021 Astroworld tragedy, the 2022 Seoul Halloween crowd crush, the 2023 Mumbai concert stampede. In every one of these incidents, the majority of victims were not in the wrong place. They were in the wrong place without the right knowledge. I'm Asha, and this is Safety Nest. Today I'm giving you the complete festival and concert safety system, before, during, and after. Because the crowd crush science alone changes how you attend every large event for the rest of your life. Crowd crush does not require panic. This is the most important thing the science tells us, and the thing most people find hardest to believe. In a crowd crush event, the force that kills people is not panic-driven stampede. It is compressive asphyxia, the inability to breathe caused by sustained pressure from the crowd on all sides simultaneously. This pressure builds gradually as crowd density increases beyond a specific threshold. Researchers measure crowd density in people per square meter. At 1 to 2 people per square meter, everyone moves freely. At 4 people per square meter, movement becomes difficult. At 6 people per square meter, the crowd begins to move as a single mass, regardless of individual intent. At 8 or more people per square meter, the pressure on a person's chest can prevent breathing even without anyone pushing. At this density, a person can lose consciousness in under 60 seconds without any visible external cause. The crowd crush threshold can be reached in a fully calm, music-enjoying crowd, simply because too many people are in too small a space. Understanding this eliminates the assumption that staying calm is sufficient protection. 3 things to do before you arrive at any large event. First, identify 2 exits on the venue map before you leave home. Every permitted large event in the United States is required to publish a venue map. It is almost always available on the event website or ticketing page. Find it. Identify the main entrance exit and 1 alternative exit on the opposite side of the venue. Memorize their approximate locations. In a crowd situation, you will not be able to consult your phone. The map you have in your head is the only map that matters. Second, agree on a meeting point with your group before you separate. Not a general area, a specific, named, fixed location that everyone can find independently. The merchandise stand at the north entrance, the food truck on the east side, a specific named gate. If you get separated and phones go dead or signal fails, which both happen regularly at large events, your group needs a physical meeting point that does not depend on communication. Third, charge your phone to 100% and bring a power bank. Large crowds create mobile network congestion. Calls and data both slow significantly when tens of thousands of devices are competing for the same towers. A fully charged phone gives you the maximum window before battery becomes a problem. Where you stand determines your risk profile for the entire event. The highest risk positions at any large event are directly in front of the stage, against barrier rails, and in the center of large standing crowds. These positions offer the best view and the worst safety margins. They are the highest density areas and the areas with the least available movement in a crowd event. The lowest risk positions are at the sides and rear of the crowd, within 20 meters of an exit, and on elevated platforms or viewing areas where crowd density is lower. If you are attending with children, elderly family members, or anyone with mobility limitations, the side and rear positions are not optional. They are the only appropriate positions for those individuals at any standing event. For general attendees, the view trade-off is real, but the safety margin is also real. A position with a slightly worse view and a clear exit path is a better position than a front center position where exit requires moving against the crowd. The signal that a crowd is approaching dangerous density is specific and observable before crush conditions develop. 4 indicators to watch for. First, you can no longer choose your own direction of movement. The crowd is pushing you rather than you navigating through it. Second, you can feel sustained pressure from multiple directions simultaneously. Not jostling, sustained directional pressure. Third, people around you begin to appear distressed. Expressions of fear, difficulty breathing, attempts to push outward rather than inward. Fourth, the crowd begins to move in waves, a ripple effect where a push from one side transmits through the crowd as a visible wave. Any one of these is a signal to begin moving toward the edge of the crowd immediately, calmly, and decisively. Do not wait for all 4. The earlier you begin moving toward the edge, the easier the movement is. Crowd density increases toward the center and decreases toward the edges, meaning the path to safety gets harder the longer you wait. If you are in a dense crowd and need to move, 3 specific techniques improve your ability to move and protect you from compressive force. First, the protective stance. Cross your arms in front of your chest with your elbows out, not aggressively, defensively, creating a small space around your chest that reduces the compressive force on your rib cage and maintains the space you need to breathe. This position also gives you a physical barrier to push back against crowd pressure. Second, move diagonally. Moving directly against the flow of crowd movement is almost impossible in a dense crowd. Moving at a 45-degree angle to the crowd direction, diagonally toward the edge, is significantly easier because it works with and around the crowd flow, rather than directly against it. Third, use gaps. In any crowd, there are micro gaps, brief moments where the pressure shifts and a small space opens. Move into gaps as they appear, rather than pushing continuously. Continuous pushing exhausts you and escalates tension around you. Gap following is slower, but more effective and less dangerous. Drink safety at festivals and concerts covers 2 separate risks. The first is drink spiking, the addition of substances to drinks without the drinker's knowledge. The specific behaviors that reduce this risk: never leave your drink unattended. Never accept a drink from someone you do not know. Use a drink cover or test strip at events where these are provided. And be aware that spiking agents are colorless, odorless, and tasteless. You cannot detect them without a test strip. The second risk is alcohol impairment, reducing your ability to execute any of the protocols in this video. Crowd reading, exit navigation, and emergency response all require cognitive function that alcohol impairs. The practical standard: if you drink, stay below the level where your judgment is affected. The environment at a large event is already cognitively demanding. Reduced judgment in that environment compounds every other risk. If you get separated from your group, 3 steps. First, go to the pre-agreed meeting point immediately. Do not search the crowd, do not wander, go directly to the agreed location. Second, if the meeting point is inaccessible due to crowd conditions, move to the nearest exit and wait there. Exits are fixed, visible, and staffed. They are the universal fallback meeting point at any event. Third, if you cannot reach your group and believe something is wrong, someone is missing, someone is injured, someone has not arrived at the agreed point, find a uniformed event staff member or security officer immediately. Do not search alone. After the event, the highest risk period at many large events is the exit. Large volumes of people converging on a small number of exit points simultaneously. Wait 15 to 20 minutes after the final act before attempting to leave if possible. The crowd thins significantly in that window, and exit becomes significantly safer and faster. The crowd crush science is real, and it applies to every large event you will ever attend. Concerts, festivals, sporting events, New Year's celebrations, public gatherings of any kind. The knowledge costs you nothing. The 2 exits, the meeting point, the protective stance, the diagonal movement. You now have all of it. Before your next event, spend 5 minutes on the venue map and agree on a meeting point with your group. That 5 minutes is the entire preparation this system requires. Share this with everyone who is going to a festival or concert this year. Drop in the comments. Have you ever been in a crowd that felt out of control? I will read every one. Stay aware. Stay safe.